crafted by the creator in this likeness and image. This move that I make can be considered my genesis. Hip-hop kingdom, the queen has come, rising like the morning sun over the slain. I used to make the mistake of being very open about what was going on in my life and what had happened in my past on social media. And I blame it on just being young and, you know, sometimes, you know, just being lonely and wanting to really have someone to talk to, but not really having nobody to talk to, and just kind of putting it out there is like, you know, this is what I'm going through, whatever. To me, it was like, to me at the time, you know, again, I was young. I'm thinking, okay, well, you know, I'm just an open book. I don't have nothing to hide. I'm not ashamed of anything. So I'm just going to put shit out there. And it is what it is. I mean, I ain't do no foul shit like snitch on nobody or, you know, share nobody business. Every time I posted about me and what I was going through, feeling and experiencing personally. Like, I ain't even name no names. It was just all about me. So you can't even point the finger at other people or, you know, come out with no accusations or no shit like that. It came to a point where it just got real overwhelming, especially with some of the shit that I've dealt with in my life. Because, you know, people are always judging, I guess. And it doesn't really bother me, but it kind of does bother me sometimes. And that's kind of what I was dealing with at the time. So, you know, I started getting into a point of depression because, you know, my father was a big part of my life. So I was in depression about that. And when he passed, I was dealing with a situation where, you know, I really needed to, you know, make some money. And it was hard for me for a long time to find a job because I have been locked up. So, you know, that always comes up. And it's crazy because, yeah, even though I'm a college graduate and got a degree, well, halfway through college, I got locked up. So, you know, yeah, I have this degree and this experience and this internship or whatever, but I also have this criminal record and this conviction on my record that is really, really bad. So, you know, just voicing about that and being amongst people who was real nosy, wanting to know what was going on. Then I also, you know, in the midst of going through all those really difficult changes, you know, I started to change inside. I started to look for other outlets and, you know, express myself differently. So I was doing all this very publicly. And then I came to a point where I'm like, you know, fuck all these people, you know, that I was arguing with and everything. It's like, I'm done with a lot of situations and there's a lot of shit I'm not going to take anymore. And fell out with a lot of folks and ended up not really feeling some of the pathways that I was being exposed to and not wanting to go down them anymore. And it just came to a point where I just was like, fuck all of this. I just shut everything down. Well, here's the thing with the shutdown and then me coming back up. Because right now, all I really have, I don't have all that bullshit that all these other people have. The only social media I have is really Instagram. And I mean, I have a SoundCloud and I have a YouTube. That's all I'm doing online besides my website. So really, if you're not seeing me on Instagram, I have a Snapchat too, but I'm not on Snapchat like I'm on Instagram, and I'm barely on Instagram. If you're not on my Instagram, then you don't really know what's going on. When I did resurface, you know, after I shut everything down, like I was offline for like a minute, like it was a good 6 months. And then I just, you know, completely wiped everything clean. And actually my manager helped me with that because she was like, you know, there's just a lot of shit going on your social media that just is not a good look if you're really trying to take this to the next level. And she was honest about it. She was like, you know, a lot of this family stuff that you got going on, a lot of the stuff going on with, you know, your past relationships and people you know in the street and your fake ass, phony ass friends and all this other stuff. She's just like, you know, it's not a good look. It's probably better for you to just wipe it clean and just start over. Don't worry about the numbers starting out. We'll just build them up. So she actually helped me, you know, scrub everything, and then I just started over. So the only stuff I really have online, like I don't really put personal stuff online anymore. Like I said, my Instagram, my SoundCloud, and my YouTube. And yeah, Snapchat, which is like a phone thing, I guess. I guess you can call it social media. I don't fucking know, but that's all I'm doing, and I'm only doing like outside of Snapchat. I'm only really doing like my music and my art, my artistry. It's strictly professional, strictly, you know, when I got stuff going on. I'm not the same person, that young ass chick that used to post all that fucking bullshit, all that drama and shit online. But as far as my fan base, like the people who are really feeling me, which I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here in front like my fan base wasn't that big. I was really just budding as an artist, so I didn't really have like, it's not like I had, you know, 500,000 people following me and then I just wiped everything clean. We're talking like a few hundred people. So when I did resurface, I saw, you know, a good number of people, you know, come back. And for the ones that didn't, oh well. And I mean, there's always opportunity. Like I said, there's 7 to 8 billion people on the earth. There's bound to be thousands, even millions more who gonna end up, you know, wanting to know who Eisani is, what the story is, liking the music, getting involved in the artistry. So it is what it is. I didn't really switch up what I was doing. Like I know a lot of people haven't, but if you knew me like when I first started rapping, like I don't still rap about, well, I'll put it like this. I might still rap about the same things, but I rap from a different perspective because I've grown as a person. So I never stopped really rapping about, you know, my very, very volatile relationship with God and, you know, having faith and all that. I never stopped rapping about, you know, what's going on in our communities and what, you know, my viewpoint about family situations. I never stopped rapping about, you know, my perspective in a lot of the relationships I've been in, because pretty much all my relationships been fucked up. So I never stopped rapping about that stuff. It's coming off different to people because it's a different sound, and it's a different sound because I'm a different person now. Like all the stuff that I've been through changed me. So, you know, you either gonna get used to it and support it, or you're gonna leave it alone. And that's that. I'm not going back to doing a song like Supreme because I'm not there anymore. I've moved on. Like I said, what I'm currently rapping about, like, I mean, I still have a lot of the same subject matter. It's just that my perspective has changed. And I mean, even with that being said, like, my perspective on a lot of things that you can write songs about was different from a lot of people anyway. So regardless of, you know, it changing or whatever, I still have a lot to offer as an artist, because I just feel like I have a perspective. I don't feel like that. I know for a fact I have a perspective that's not really reflected, especially in mainstream music. I'm very different. I'm very different. People been telling me that like most of my life, and for a long time I didn't understand. But you know, coming of age, oh, I get it now. I am very different. So I mean, I do have something to offer. Music in general, hip hop culture in particular, and especially, you know, the female voice in hip hop. So, like I said, either you're gonna support it or you're not gonna support it.